wanted to find out what separates the good campaign logos from the bad ones.
I'm almost speechless on this one.
Sagi Haviv is a partner and designer at Chermayeff and Geismar and Haviv. Seems like a fun place to work. You're probably familiar with their work. The Chase logo, Mobile, the Library of Congress, and many, many others.
In general, what makes an effective logo?
What it's meant to do is to help people remember you, for good or for bad. But a good, effective logo will be appropriate, simple, and memorable.
Let's talk about Ted Cruz.
What we can see, starting with the typography, is that there's a clear nod to tradition when he thinks about his strength with the far right and the religious conservative audience that he's very much vying for. But there's something extremely awkward about the cropping of that star. It's kind of a crippled star that is missing two of its limbs. It just is bad. What we look for is a magical moment where the image and the type are merged beautifully. They were able to, because it's italic, to create a negative space there between the A and the N and make a torch. The idea of liberty, which is very much his hallmark, is appropriate. So all around, pretty good concept and execution.
Marco Rubio, what do you think?
Going all lowercase is pretty smart. He's saying, I am the leader of tomorrow. The young one, very appropriate. However, the shape of the United States, which is a vast country, right? They shrunk it to the size of a dot on the I, and it looks like a little red whale there. What happens is when the logo is reduced, which will inevitably be reduced, it's just too small. Even on a business card, you can imagine how tiny that thing is going to be. He's one of the candidates that has a pretty good chance, but it's not going to be because of the logo if he wins.
Now we're talking about this use of blue and gold.
I'm almost speechless on this one. I just don't know where to start. First of all, to pick the A of America instead of the C of Carson or something about his name. But what they did to this letter is criminal. From a language standpoint, to write Carson America doesn't make any sense. Is it Carson for America? Is it Carson's America? What is it? It's very hard to talk about this. It's the worst one. What I see here is that this is kind of a reactionary logo to the Obama campaign, echoed then in the visual with his tagline, we're leaving hope behind and we're going to higher ground. But can you really go the distance with something that is just a reaction to someone else's legacy? To keep this thing going will be a mistake. So here we find a very thin face. So it's a modern face. It's a sans serif. There is a kind of lighter touch, which may be trying to play on something more feminine. It could be. I mean, she has a very forceful persona, so maybe balancing it out. They put the star in the A because it fits there. Unfortunately, when you look at how they try to extract a kind of a visual shorthand, they extract the A.
She's Carly.
Exactly, she's not Arlie. It's not a traditional serif with all the thicks and thins. It's more of a slab, what we call a slab serif, which is a little bolder, a little simpler. It combines tradition and modernity.
And the fact that it's his first name, I just see it being on the door of like a kid's room.
A little childish, or I think in this case, maybe friendly, which also explains why it's Bernie and not Sanders. It is kind of not intimidating as a mark.
What are your thoughts on it?
It's very bold. The choice of the H as being a sans serif, a bold sans serif, says I'm modern. And the arrow saying moving forward. We've seen arrows, even FedEx, which is a very famous logo, has a silent arrow there between the E and the X. The other thing about this mark is that very strategically, it is not her name. In 2007, she had a big Hillary. Now it's just the H. More of a symbol for a movement and not to focus on her personality or her name. There has been a shift. There's a much more kind of corporate or commercialized approach to the branding and even using that word branding of these candidates. They really are trying now to claim something distinctive, something ownable, and everybody now is trying to achieve that kind of thing.